Braelon, after the game, how's your body feeling now? Is it getting this week?
Yeah, I think better than probably I expected throughout this week. Not really having an off day, just kind of going from the game straight back into our weekly routine. So feel pretty good. Obviously, a little bit of soreness the last couple of days, and just some heavy legs today, but nothing that was very bad, too bad to play through it all. So I feel pretty good. I know by Friday I'll be at 100.
With Big Ten play starting on Friday, do you guys feel like you're ready to get into conference play?
Yeah, oh yeah, we've been ready. That's what you look forward to. Obviously it's kind of the start of what we're trying to do, and that's play for a championship. So this week, our first Big Ten game, it'll be a good test for us. I know we're excited.
What do you expect from Purdue defensively for you guys?
Schematically, pretty simple. They kind of something different that we haven't seen yet this year. Kind of more of a 5-down, 5-1 type of look. So really, it's besides the 5-down lineman, one guy in the box, and we know how they're going to test us. Try to spill us out to their forced defenders, and it'll be a lot of one-on-one matchups for us. We're definitely excited to try to take advantage of that.
And playing on a Friday night, is that something? Obviously it's different, but get you more fired up to play than usual?
Yeah. I'm just excited for one to play at Purdue and to play at a night game. The atmosphere is unmatched, so definitely excited.
Friday night feel a little different, that kind of atmosphere? Or?
I haven't played on a Friday night in college, but I would assume it's not much different than a Saturday. I think just night games in general are a lot of fun to play in, so probably the same.
Coach Fickle mentioned that he needs these guys on the offense to be unselfish and maybe not necessarily worry about a number of touches game to game. As somebody whose whole career here has kind of been a bell cow so far, and you're maybe at your best getting 20+ carries running between the tackles, have you struggled at all with that? Just with this offense, just trying to find a balance and getting everybody involved.
I wouldn't necessarily say I've struggled with it. Definitely been a different feel. I've always felt, as the games went on, the more carries I got, I was able to get into a rhythm. So I think now it's just, you got to find a way to try to get into that rhythm faster on less touches. So that's something I've been trying to work on, and definitely getting used to it still. Not necessarily getting the ball too much, especially in the first half, but just any way I can try and energize myself and the team. The few carries I do get, try to do as best I can.
You mentioned you like to wear defenses down over 4 quarters. Do you run differently at all now, knowing that it might be 1 carry here, 1 carry there, versus maybe running 4, 5, 6 times a series?
Yeah, I think I have to, honestly. Like you said, maybe getting 1 carry here or there, try to make it as punishing and as physical as I can. I think trying to make it feel the same as having 5 or 6 carries in a drive is the best way to energize myself and the team and kind of get in that rhythm.
And that being said, this is a Purdue team you've really lit it up against in 2 matchups. Obviously, they got a different coaching staff in there now, but what do you like about running against this team where you've had a lot of success against them so far?
Yeah, I think we just went into both games with a great game plan, and obviously the offensive line has played a great game both times as well. So looking for more of the same.
You and Hunter Waller were once both in-state safeties. Obviously, that's a change now. But what has stood out about what he's been able to do here to elevate himself, especially this season, to help your team?
Yeah, Hunter's, obviously we have a very tight relationship. Like you said, both being in-state safeties while being recruited, and we were also roommates our freshman year, so we spent a lot of time together. And you just kind of see the everyday grind, and for someone like him, it was something that didn't come right away. He really had to kind of work his way up the ranks, played behind some guys, some really good guys, and he just came in every day and tried to gain as much knowledge as possible, be the best version of himself every day. And it's definitely paid off. Like I said, just the daily grind, him coming to work every single day, being the same guy, putting his body on the line for his team. He definitely made great strides, and he's playing super well. So
Braelon,
becoming a better pass blocker one of your goals for this year. How do you think you've done so far through 3 games? What's maybe the next step for you in that realm?
I think this is the first game I gave up a sack or a hurry, pressure, whatever you usually call it. But since then, I think I've been pretty solid. Probably the most significant difference in my game so far, in terms of being consistent with it. So I think Coach Ball has taught us a great technique that I was able to apply really quickly. It's been effective and it's helped me a lot.
Can you share that technique, or is that giving
It's gonna get pretty technical, so I'll save it for another time.
I just wonder, there's been a lot of talk about the NFL in the last week since Aaron Rodgers' injury about artificial surfaces. Just trying to get your perspective. All other things being equal, do you have any preference, grass versus turf?
Yeah, I like grass. That's why I'm so excited to play at Purdue. It's probably the best field that I've played on since I've been here, so I'm excited to go back there. Definitely prefer grass.
I mean, obviously you ended up here anyway, so was that any kind of factor when you were making your decisions in terms of altitude?
Braelon, at the end of the game, following the game, Coach Fiddle said that they wanted to get you the ball more early. Do you know why that happened? Was it a part of the game plan, kind of get you the ball early? Was the injury kind of a reason why you did it? What do you think?
I don't know. It's not really that much of that.
And then on a short week, preparation-wise, with you nursing an injury, does your preparation change a little bit? I'm saying, you kind of want to rehab, balance rehab and stuff.
No, it's the same thing. Coach Fick's main thing is never taking your foot off the gas. And, we're always going to do the same work regardless of the amount of days we have before our next game. Like I said, we normally have an off day on Monday. We can have that. Came back on Sunday, practice like we always do, and then Monday was our Tuesday. Today was our Wednesday, and tomorrow will be our Thursday. So it's never any different. I didn't approach this week any differently. I feel good. So just keeping the balance of going hard, but also doing what I can to keep myself up.
Is there any change in intensity, whether that be you or the whole team, as you know the Big Ten play is coming up? Does that change the locker room at all, or not really?
Yeah, I think it does. I think, at least as a running back room, maybe even as an offense, yesterday and today were probably our best 2 contact days that we've had so far. So I think just knowing that we have a big game ahead and a long season of a lot of physical football, it ramps up the intensity a little bit. So I think it changes how we practice, but in a good way.
Getting back to the rhythm and not knowing if you're going to necessarily have that during a game, you said you're going to work on that. How do you possibly work on that? You can't in practice take off for 15 minutes or something like that. So how can you prepare yourself? I know mentally you can probably do it, but physically, how can you almost simulate a first half where you might only get a couple of carries?
Yes, it's like I said, just kind of trying to make, whether it's just a carry here and there, trying to make those few carries as visible and as punching on the defense as I can, so that next time I do get the ball, they know what's coming. So basically trying to make those few carries feel to the defense like I got the ball 5 times.
Does that do anything though for you personally? Because running backs at every level need that rhythm, and the only thing I can think of comparatively is basketball, like somebody who's coming off the bench who needs to play as if they're a starter. Is there anything that any experience you can draw upon this to help you? Because you need to stay engaged in the game. You need to keep your confidence up and all of that. That's a tough question.
Yeah, I don't really know. It's I don't know. Just like I said, trying to make the most of the opportunities that I do get. Obviously, it's even less just because me and Chez split time. So just trying to make the most of all opportunities.
Just going back to the surface, what is it that you like about playing on grass? Why do you prefer it?
Well, no turf burn. That's the main thing. Definitely just feels better on your joints, your ankles, something like that.
I've heard some people talk about turf being like a track game. You can go faster. Do you notice that, or is there any difference in the speed going from grass to turf?
Yeah, turf's probably a little faster, but when you're in the game, I don't think it's going to be feels any different.
Coach Fickle mentioned on Monday that sometimes when you've got a more experienced team or a team that's been in the system longer, you can ease up in a week. He said, you guys, you need to maybe practice harder on Thursday and Friday than a different team might. Do you feel that? Do you feel different later on in the week? Do you feel like practices might be a little bit more than they were in the past, given that he's kind of said, like, you ramp it up a little bit more?
I think it's just the tempo of it. You know, those aren't really physical days for us.
Okay.
But I think what he means is the intensity of it is always stay the same, just the mental focus and, like I said, the tempo of it. Even though we're not being physical, being intentional with everything, probably making a difference.
So like jog through instead of walk through type mentality? Sure.
Ches talked about last Monday he wasn't in a good mood when he came into the facility after fumbling against Washington State. I was curious from your perspective what you saw in him on Monday and how quickly maybe he was able to get over that after Coach Fickle had his little talk with him.
I thought he was able to get over it pretty quickly. I thought the entire team did a great job of kind of just leaving that in the past and looking towards Georgia Southern. Coach Spalding said in our meeting that Sunday, you can't let one loss beat you twice. And I think we all took that to heart and just realized it's a long season. And just like I said, put our eyes on Georgia Southern.
He said, Coach Fickle said, Ches is one of the bigger leaders on this team, and he couldn't have him kind of pouting and moping around. What does he just mean to you guys as a locker room as to why Coach Fickle said you got to get over it as quickly as possible?
Yeah, well, Ches, he's kind of notorious for I don't know how to say it. I guess his sensitivity towards certain situations, and so everybody kind of knows that about him, and everybody looks to him. He's kind of the guy that people feed off of his energy, whether it's positive or negative. And we had a bunch of talks about that throughout the off season. I think he's done a great job of trying to stay very positive regardless of the situation. Like I said, everybody feeds off of him, so him being able to be positive through a time like that definitely helps the team.
Appreciate it.